Happy Sunday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell, coming to you live on Memorex from the ultimate remote location, alternate route, South Avenue route. Just got through walking what I believe to be east on Midlothian until I hit South Avenue, where I made a left. And I do believe now I am walking north on South Avenue as I realized more and more that I walk these streets too goddamn much. I was on Market Street so many times yesterday. I irritated myself. I was on Market Street so many times yesterday. I mean, because it's the route, you know, it's the conduit. It's the vein, or whatever you want to call it. In between walking it back and forth and driving it, I was like, oh my God. So I had to take another route in South Avenue. And yes, I am definitely avoiding walking the ultimate route, which would take me through the area, neighborhood in which I grew up in. I have to admit I'm avoiding it. I'm avoiding it. I don't want to. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. I don't know why. I guess I do know why. And then and to further on that point, yesterday we riding through Niles, where my son lived at. We riding through Niles, and I guess Howland, and I guess it's Girard is up in there, and all those different cities that I've heard of all my life, but never knew where they were. And in my mind, they're like far apart. You know, I'm thinking, oh, Girard is this way, Warren, this, you know, all this is far. But these cities are like right on top of each other. Like Youngstown and Boardman. Literally a street separates them. And so we're in Niles yesterday, and I'm seeing all this commerce and businesses and, you know, activity. You know, and so a lot of it is that kind of franchisee, you know, not strip mall, the modern, you know, the modern buildings of, you know, I keep wanting to say Chipotle and, you know, TJ Maxx and all those, that look, you know, but it's clean and it's has energy to it and there was people there. I'm like, even Niles got this? And Niles got the Eastwood Mall. I'm like, even Niles got this? Boardman got it? Austintown got it, and Youngstown ain't even got a grocery store in it. That made me really stop and think there's something going on. There's something more than just whatever. There's something going on to where something was put in place or something evolved to be in place, or the corruption over the years, or whoever's running the place, or whatever. Something bigger, something more than just coincidence or demographics or logistics is going on. Because as soon as you see it, I'm walking into Youngstown now. This is South Avenue. This runs parallel to Market Street, which is the main drag. And this actually itself may be more vibrant than Market Street. And Market Street is supposed to be the main drag. South Avenue may have more, quote unquote, going on than Market Street. And by going on, I mean like maybe like open businesses or activity or just, you know, commerce, just stuff. This is nothing compared to Niles or Boardman. Niles or Boardman, them places almost look like, I mean, I don't want to say California, you know, but you know, they look like what I'm used to seeing in California, where everything is new and, renovated or modern. It don't even got to be updated or modern. It don't even got to be renovated or modern. It just has to be commerce and stuff going on in it. People. When I saw that in Niles, I was like, oh my God, y'all got this, y'all got that, Wingstop, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, pizza places, just businesses and cars going by and people. And I'm like, that's Niles for crying out loud. Youngstown is supposed to be the bomb. Youngstown is supposed to be the bomb. And here goes Niles outshining the play. And that's what made me really stop and think, there's something going on. There's something more. There has to be. Something fundamentally, that's the word, something fundamentally dysfunctional or incorrect or out of it or something has to be going on for Youngstown to be so depleted in so much. Literally. Not a grocery store in the place. Not a grocery store in the place. And what they do have, I do believe, is Dollar Generals. And I got new respect for Dollar General now as I went into more than one and noticed. First thing I noticed was they had lunch meat. They were serving lunch meat, like Oscar Mayer packets of lunch meat. I was like, oh. And that's when I noticed they have food and quote unquote groceries, if you want to call them that, and eggs and bread and medicine, like Tylenol and the whatnot. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay. Now I see what Dollar General brings to the area when there's nothing else. Now, how do I feel about shopping for my groceries in Dollar General? I don't know. But then again, I don't have to because you go to Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle is I don't want to say reputable, but it's almost like a top-notch grocery store. So they're going to have, quality product, quality fruit, quality vegetables, and all that. So you don't have to, you ain't gonna say you don't have to worry about it, but it's got, you're getting a good price. Well, it may be a little bit higher price, let's just be honest. Price may be a little bit higher, but the quality of the food is there and the variety in a grocery store, like a Giant Eagle. I think Mark's is a grocery store. Walmart even got a little bit of food in it in a grocery store. But it's just amazing, see? You see how this looks? This is developed. Developed is the word. Developed. Underdeveloped is such an understatement that I don't think it applies here. Underdeveloped is such an understatement that I don't think it applies here. Something's going on. I'm convinced. So I had to go down that road, obviously. You can tell by my enthusiasm behind it and how long I went. But I do love the place. I still love Youngstown. I do. I love being from Youngstown. I absolutely love being from this place. I love it a lot. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what it once was. And the Youngstown I remember. Youngstown I grew up in. Yeah, even seeing the words on the signs and in writings and everything. And it was funny, yesterday, I'm watching TV. We watching the game. My daughter put it on regular TV because the game was on WYTV, which is ABC. And the game was on, then it went off. Minnesota blew OKC out by like 40. But the game went off and the news came on. And I love watching local news. I do. I love watching local news, local people, local styles, you know, local way of saying things. My cousin on that, Brick. Brick is, in fact, let me tell this story. You see this? That Brick, used auto sales? Brick picked me up from the Greyhound station when I went to California. And I went to stay with my cousin Noreen. And I stayed there. That's how I got my footing in California. He came and picked me up. And then we went to Altadena, 790 Alberta. I still remember. So that's who that is. Right there. Stayed with Lark and Keegan. Woo, now Lark and Keegan all grown, they got kids. Oh my God. You know, life goes on, it changed. I remember Lark and Keegan was born. Lark and Keegan was like our first babies. Cause we was at the age that where we could actually babysit, you know, with quotation marks. You know, we was old enough to where summertime running around Farrell. And my cousin Noreen was cool with like, take Keegan with you. You know, all right. And he come in his diaper and we go out, you know, hang out with Lark. You know, Lark is still a baby. Still in the baby, not even walking, I don't think. She had a big head too. Woo, her head was big and round. But she was quote unquote ours. In fact, I think Noreen and them, and I do remember this, was calling my sister and cousin Lisa and cousin Kara, my cousins, Keegan's Angels. Because they, you know, we was at that age where we could, you know, it was a baby. So kind of like when I was born. And Noreen and Lynette and Kathy and all them was around me when my mother had me and all them teenage girls was there. You know, they said, my mother tells me, they said, my feet never hit the ground. And I'll call you. But anyway, what was it? What was I talking about? See, Sam's Eatery, they built this here. It's not developed. And not developed is not a bad thing. Underdeveloped is not a bad thing for me. You can look at the storefronts or the plazas or whatever you want to call it, and they're not updated. You know, it's the older style, maybe from the 70s, 60s or 70s. Look, I don't mind that at all. That part I don't mind. If, you know, as long as it's commerce and modern facilities to facilitate the commerce. I keep coming back to commerce. You know, money, capitalists keep the money moving. Where you can get stuff and that you need. Like if I need a cable, or I need a charger, or I need to get my phone repaired, or something like that. And probably all that's right in here too, as I just said that. Metro, see the phone, and pizza, food, laundromat. In fact, that's the laundromat I used to go to. Probably told you all that before. So I love being from here, I definitely do. But I do love me some Youngstown. And I also am starting to realize how I miss seeing people. I'm starting to realize how I miss seeing people. You know, as soon as I walk out my house, I'm seeing somebody. And that's what's still on the side street that I live on. If I walk out to the main drag, I'm gonna see hundreds of people at any time, just about any time of the day. Well, not hundreds, you know, in the middle of the night, but there's gonna be somebody out there. Something to look at, you know. Literally, and I mean something to look at. Be it female or male. Okay, mostly female. I just wanna look. Just wanna see something, you know? See somebody walking and talking, see some activity, see some life, see life actually in action. And you don't get that too much back here. Even in Boardman, like I said, even in Boardman and those other places in Niles where they have, the commerce and the modern and developed, it's just not conducive to walking. It's just not a walking thing. I guess it's not like a downtown, but where I live at isn't really a downtown, but you see people just walking. People walk to places. You can walk to the grocery store. I don't know, it's something, it's obvious this place is just not conducive to walking. It's just not set up to be a walking place. They can get rid of, I ain't gonna say they can get rid of the sidewalks, but if they did, they probably, people probably wouldn't complain that much. Get rid of the sidewalks and add an extra lane of traffic. They probably say, okay. And here's the spot. Winkies was here. Winkies was here first. And then Jib Jab. I always come here. Because I remember this spot. Look at it. The foundation is still there. Or whatever that, I guess, what you call that, the foundation? Winkies. And is that the Florida establishment? No, that could be. Would this be the Florida place? This looks like tile. Would this be like the inside of the building? Could it be? It might be. Winkies was there, then Jip Jab. We come get our family pack of chili dogs, and use big old giant box of French fries, drinks. Saturday with my father. We had a routine. So call him at the bowling alley every Saturday, just about. Daddy, can you bring home a pizza? We call him just about every Saturday. You would think he'd know. We call him every Saturday. He's like, yeah, okay. And he'd play along, I guess. Cause I'm thinking about it as I older. It's not like we wasn't gonna call. We stay up and we watch Mary Tyler Moore. I think it was One Day at a Time was on there at the time. What else? Carol Burnett. I said Mary Tyler Moore. Jefferson's, All in the Family, Saturday night. And then Carol Burnett came on at 10, I think. Or 9, and then Love Boat will come on Fantasy Island, I think. It was on the other channel or something like that. And we call him. You call him. No, you call him. You call him. I called last week. You call him. We call a bowling alley. We'd ask for Clarence Mitchell. They'd page him or whatever. But then you got, like I said, they got to know us. They probably tell Mitchell. Get Mitchell his kids calling. You go get him, say, hey, can you bring him a pizza? This used to be 7-Eleven. I hung out there one time all night, hanging out with folks, me and Earl. Had a couple girls with us, just hanging out. It's Dewey Street I grew up on. This is East Dewey. I live on West Dewey. When you cross Market Street, this becomes east. You go the other way, it becomes west. When I had property on St. Louis, there's no such thing as West St. Louis or East St. Louis because St. Louis doesn't run across this. So when you put West St. Louis, GPS and other places don't know what you're talking about. You just got to put St. Louis. There it is, Dewey Street, Dewey. Look at that. Like I said, I don't go up to the other place. I don't go to where I grew up. It's just, I drove through there. Once I drove in, checked the property, see what's up, and then see I own a house, and I'm renting it out. And I gotta check on that too. I should stop by there. Come to think about it, while I'm back here. Stop by there and talk to them, see what's up. I gotta check all that. I got so much stuff to check. But since I got a lump sum of money, so I'm kind of covered. My bills are covered. I'm not like worried about anything. So the sense of urgency isn't there where it should be. Maybe I should have a little sense of urgency. You know, because even though I'm on disability, and I don't know if my disability is going to continue, extension, this got canceled, denied, and I got to do this and do that, and get ready to go back to work, and et cetera, et cetera. Gotta check on the, I don't know if I got any money from the rental property lately. Gotta check on that. Yeah. Find out what's going on. You know, probably could do that. I got time. I don't know, it seems like I don't know. I was telling Kenny, I was tired. We was tired. Whatever, we trying to figure out, because we was going back over, you know what I've been doing. Because I got here the 15th. Today's the 25th. So I've been here for 10 days. And I'm exhausted. Well, number one, granddaughter. I don't give a damn what you say, how cute you think she is. She will wear your ass out. And like I said, not in a bad way. You know, not in a way you want to stifle or tone down. But my God, if she wake up, she come and look into my room. Well, here we go. Here we go. But last night, Mommy wasn't feeling it. Mommy was having a day. So Mommy was getting stuff done. Mommy used her adult voice, I don't want to say ghetto or hood voice, but that was real. It even scared me. First time I said that. And to be honest, it kind of wasn't granddaughter's fault. It was an accident. It was an accident, but a mirror got broke. It was an accident, a mirror got broke. And Kimberly just, I ain't gonna say she snapped, but you know, kinda, she got triggered. And she screamed. It was solid. It wasn't no play in that. It wasn't, the granddaughter knew immediately to stop. You just see her you just see all of it, all the energy come out of her. And she wouldn't sit down. You know, she knew this wasn't the normal. Then it happened again. Cause she was, and I think it's good, I told her. Even though it may have been an accident, I mean, it definitely was an accident or whatever, it's good, I think it's good for granddaughter to know that mommy can go there. You know, you keep messing with mommy gonna go there. So I was like, it was a good thing, I don't care. You know, I'm not so worried about whose fault it was or understanding or talking it out. It's good to know, because I believe in a little bit of fear and respect of authority. I'm a fan. And I'll tell you something else. After she did that, when she went there, there wasn't no whining. It wasn't that whining that she's so used to doing. It wasn't none of that. It wasn't none of that whining, crying stuff. It's like she knew, it's like she knew that now's not the time for that. She just sat down, and you know, 5 minutes later, she back to trying to play. And Kimberly say, nope, sit down. And then she could hear Kimberly lighten up. You gonna get a spanking? I was like, oh, okay, she lightening up a little bit. You could tell it coming off her voice. I was like, she need to get a spanking. But, and again, she needed to get a spanking just to know the spankings exist. But she was just tired. She was worn out. She had a full day. She was acting loopy. You know, you could tell. It was on her, but you could tell she's just loopy and nothing intentional. None of this granddaughter does is intentional. You know, she just makes mistakes and she don't listen sometimes when she should. Because she just be playing. She's 3, you know? You know what I mean? She's 3, so it's kind of hard to, you know. But still, you got to be responsible for that. You still got to be responsible, even though you're 3. Life ain't fair. You got to be responsible for anything that may or may not happen to you. even though it's not your fault or not your responsibility. I think this is about usually where I get down this far where I start to turn around. I think I walk across the bridge and I turn around. Then when I walk back, I gotta walk uphill, so that's always fun. Across 680. So it was interesting to see that, play out. Because we was tired. And even, granddaughter was just, she wasn't really thinking right. You could tell. She was just kind of off a little bit. I don't trust these people. Let these people go. I don't trust them at all. You go. They act like it's a big to-do. If they got to navigate, have an extra added element in their day or in their plan. See, what I would do is I'll stop. Well, I guess I'll try not to stop this. I'll see if I can just look at the how many steps I've walked. I remember one time I was walking down Market Street and I was feeling good and I had time. I went ahead and walked all the way downtown. I said I'm gonna walk all the way downtown and catch the bus back. And I did. It was kind of cool. But here's when I started walking down here. And I know I gotta walk a little bit farther down, as I remember, to get to 5,000, so that when I turn around, at least, I have 10,000. That's just a metric, because I can always walk later. It's still early in the day. Got a lot a lot of day left, a lot of walking left. But just to set that metric to get to 10,000 is always, something to shoot for. So, I don't know what homie doing over there. You see him? See homie over there standing? Looks like he's talking to himself or somebody. I don't know. See, when you do see people out here, you're like leery. You know what I mean? You do see folks out here, you're like, what the hell? In fact, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, it would be nice to go down that far. I wouldn't mind. In fact, I think this is where I stopped before. Now that I think about it, I think this is where I stopped before. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can check the, I'm gonna check, see if I was steady talking and it stopped. I checked my steps, 5,505. See, I knew, that was about right. See, so I walk this stuff so much, I know about how far they walk and stuff. So I'll walk back now. I'll walk back now, and I'll get back. And today's kind of an exciting day. As I was saying, granddaughter, wear you out. And you gotta remember, I'm not used to it. So it's compounded on me. Remember, I'm like 30 years of living alone, having my own space uncompromised. So, for me, all this is like a big deal. To have my attention being demanded almost 24 hours a day, because you can't sleep. You really can't sleep, because when you wake up, it's gonna be there. So you gotta hurry up and sleep. You gotta sleep while it sleeps. As I told family chat, so I'm still in the bed. I'm not doing nothing until it wakes up. I'm not doing nothing until it wakes up. They don't stop. I was like, I ain't doing nothing until the way, I don't know if they got a stop sign, but they got a red light. I ain't doing nothing until it wakes up. So today, I'm getting me a room for 2 days, at least 2 days, where I can go in and just shut down, completely shut down. Like, isolate my senses, disconnect from everything. Well, not really disconnect, because, I'm having my, phone. Everybody know I got a room, so they probably gonna be, Jeffery, where you at? And it's over there where Joe, my ex-wife, live. And he kind of took me around there. He said, you over there? I'm like, no, I'm not. What room you in? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, tell you that. I just want to know which one you got. I know you do. Because he took me around and see the hotels, just kind of look at it and ride through. That's what I was saying. We was riding through Austintown, how nice it was. And hotels and businesses and stuff. I'm like, oh my God. We go to Niles, they got it. Boardman, they got it. Youngstown ain't got shit. Underdeveloped, not even underdeveloped, probably not developed at all. Youngstown, they're gonna have to figure something out. Years ago, I used to say, they just gotta let it die. They're gonna just let it die and rebuild it. Return to nature. Because you ain't allowed to round them up and put them in housing projects anymore. So they just gonna have to wait till they all die out. And the process is starting because there's some kind of real estate monkey business going on back here. It's like the house that I used to own and my father owned it. It's his primary residence for probably 20, 30 years. We sold it. I sold it for 28. Next thing I know, it's on the market for 56. And I think I looked, they want like 95 for it. And if you drive by it, I swear, there's a notice on it that it's gonna be demolished. And it should be demolished. We was in there, and the infrastructure of it wasn't maintained. The wood is rotting, stuff is leaking, electric, this, that, plumbing, gas, and all that need to be almost gutted and rebuilt. It's like 4 bedrooms and this and that, 2 bedrooms up, attic, 4 bedrooms, basement, bathroom in the basement, backyard, garage, all that. Shit. You don't take care of it. It ain't no in the location. So I was telling Joe, he said, man, we left that house. It had 4 bedroom, had basement, had this and that. I said, man, look where it's at though. And look what condition was in. You just can't even say that no more. That don't 4 bedroom, you can have 100 bedroom. Them old houses was old. And they wasn't made out of brick. So they probably wasn't designed to last all that long, which is not a bad thing. Yes. Like this building here, it's probably gonna outlive its usefulness. So even though the exterior is nice, you gotta wonder what the interior is like. The wood and the plumbing and the pipes and the years of erosion, et cetera, the weather, cold and hot, humidity. Yeah, the outside is standing, but the guts of it is probably molded. I mean, not probably, but molded and rotten. Well, not rotten. Rotten is a tough word, but you know what I mean. Love the trees, love the humidity. It's warming up today. Yesterday it was cold. We went to get howling. So my son lived in Niles. We drove to Howland. It was a little bit of a ride now. I ain't gonna lie. It was a little bit of a ride. But we got to this park. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Simple but beautiful. Kids loved it. They played. A lot of space and just, you know. And then ride through the town. And then one thing about that place, you ride through the town, all of it's not developed. So you will ride by. See, like this right here. Would you call it vintage? What would you call it? Legacy. See, this, I like this. This would be something I would kind of like. And I think the size that I want. In fact, I saw a house, the size that I thought, when I Googled it, it said 0 bathrooms. It said 0 bathrooms, 0 bedrooms. They wanted $55,000 for it. I don't know if it was an office or anything, but it was a nice little small. I don't need nothing big. I don't need nothing big. So look at the house right there. That's too big. I wouldn't use half of that. But I would need, that's why I really would want to, that's why I would really want a condo. One thing about a condo, you know, can you buy the ground? You paying, you know, blah, blah, blah. You gotta be paying for the ground, renting the ground. Can you buy the ground? How does all that work? And back here, it's almost cheaper just to buy a house, buy too much house, and just deal with it. Come out more economical. But, and I mean, I'm thinking that way because retiring in California, woo, retiring in California, boy, I don't know. If I work till 70, plus I'm gonna need somebody to take care of me or whatever. I can move back here and live like a king off that $3,800 Social Security if I work till 70. Let alone the retirement money I got saved or inherited. People call it Mooney. So, you know, it's all in play. But the first thing I gotta do is get my ass back to work and be able to tolerate, stomach, and endure answering them phones. And I really do think I turned the corner. I can actually picture myself, you know, handling it. Handling it makes it seem like I couldn't handle it. Tolerating it. Tolerating is more of a word. I think I could handle it. No, I guess I couldn't handle it. If I couldn't tolerate it, that means I couldn't handle it. Even though it don't sound quite the same, that's the case. You can't tolerate it, you can't handle it. So I guess I couldn't handle it. But I really do think now, you know, I should sign up for a couple more therapy classes. I got the what's it called, Zoloft. I ain't taking it. So, you know, maybe if I go back and things get weird, it says it takes 2-3 weeks for it to happen. So maybe if I go back and things get weird, I start taking And they say you can start taking it, ease yourself off of it. But you see the goalpost, Cardinal Mooney. And that building right there is, I don't know if it's Cardinal Mooney. So we'll see. I do really think I can pick up the phone and not be irritated by it. And I still got like a month. Literally still got a month left. So, and I should get back home. I have about 2 weeks at home to get myself together to go back in and get up to speed, you know, do this, do that. Except the challenge, because things have changed. I think they upgraded, I don't know, Windows 11, they rolled it out. Not sure how all that was working. We got to be ready for that. Got ready for it in case any changes they had in the ServiceNow application, Talk Desk, and how we answer calls and stuff they've been banging out. So I was just thinking, before I went out on disability, I told people, I'm just open like that. I told people, I don't know how long I could do this. And I be asking, how long you been answering phone? How long you been answering phone? I've been asking people. So I really don't know how long I can continue to do this. And I remember that Wednesday I came in there. First of all, one of the new guys was sitting next to me. I think I saw him and Larry. They saw me. They saw me come in. They saw me sit down. Now, I'm not sure who saw me leave, but I couldn't do it. I just could not. I could not sit there and act like, no. And I didn't want to be the person to be that person in that environment. So I left. And the rest is history. I definitely needed the time. There's no doubt about that. I definitely needed the time. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Now, whether it fixes or corrects what I got going on in the long term is the question. No whooping. No whooping. See, stuff like that I like. It ain't got to be all modernized, and properly spelled and spaced. I get that to a degree. To a degree. It's charming. Cozy, whatever you want to call it. To a degree. See these brick buildings ain't gonna fall down. Uh-oh, what's that say? Do not, see that? I think that's the yellow thing that was on the house at 562. Let's go see what it say. But I think it was the same thing. What did it say? This property has been ordered vacant. No person is permitted on the premises after 2:20. Property known as the house after the description. An order vacated for the code. No structure shall be occupied without active water. No trespassing. Also, it's just a no trespassing thing. It ain't about being torn down. It's just saying that it's been deemed vacant and probably, I don't know, abandoned, or what's the word when they call it when it's like all, you know, where you ain't allowed to go in it. Condemned? Condemned sounds so deep, but yeah. I'm thinking there's one on 562 I want to go read. I think it's the same color. Maybe that one was pink. Maybe pink means. See, stuff like this, legacy. They don't build buildings like this no more. Look at that. Legacy, building, bricks. I love bricks. Love seeing brick buildings. Again, there may have been too much. Build them to last forever when they shouldn't have been. Now see, there's a brick building, but it's a modern brick building. See how that modern color? That one was probably built in the 70s. I'm guessing, I'm just throwing numbers out there. But see how that one is brick, but it's still kind of modernish looking? I guess the only thing left standing on this street may be brick buildings. Everything else might be gone. Except for that house right there. Somehow they maintain. When you think about it, maybe all of this was non-brick buildings and it's gone. Because there was definitely buildings and stuff here. And if you look up the street, on this so far, all I see is brick building. Everything else is gone. Teeny's Tavern. He was telling me about Teeny's. It's supposed to be like an OG club up here or something. And somebody be playing funkadelic music or something like that. See that little place. Grand opening, slightly new consignment to LA Oasis. See that little cute little building. That one got aluminum siding on it. Maybe that's why that one survives. That used to be the fire station. That's brick. Oh, here's the OG club he was talking about. I walk right by this here. Here's the OG club. I guess they do something on Friday nights here. Friday night is like my babysitting night. I might have to check it out. OG club with golf. I remember seeing that and thinking, interesting. Okay, I thought more than just interesting. See, all these are brick. All these buildings still standing out here are brick, 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 brick. I wonder if that's significant, or am I just projecting something on it? Who knows? But the winters back here, probably the combination of winters and the summers, you know, gotta take its toll. My weight is down a little bit. Last night I got on a scale 207, which it was like 209. I think it was 209.8 the other night. So, damn, what did he just do? Just walked over there, you see that? How did he walk out of that house? He just got on their car. Did y'all see those people walking? And then he just was walking by, and he walked over there and get in that car. Where's he coming from? That was something interesting, don't you think? Remember you saw him come out like a house or something and walk over to the gas station and get in the car. It was sitting there looking like it was getting gas. I got nothing else to do. Another brick building. Brick, brick, brick. just understand and realize that all these empty spaces, there were businesses there. They were building their businesses there. All these empty spaces, even this one. This place was booming. It was lined with commerce. Like even that empty space over there. You know, it was stuff there. All right. I think this one got painted nicely. I like that gray. I like that look. That might not be too big a place. Probably wouldn't want to be on the front street, but you know. See, this is new. They built that. This is legacy, I think, vintage or whatever you want to call it. This is new, you can tell. This was recently constructed. Tell by the look, even though it's brick. This is old school. And that's the stuff I like to see. I consider it art, I guess. I guess I consider it art. And my daughter even said, something about South Avenue. She said there's a lot of bars on the street, and there are. I don't know why, but there are. There are a lot of bars on the street. See, none of this has been developed. You don't see this. It don't look like this once you get past Midlothian on Market, going south, it changes almost instantly. It's just like a demarcation line. Youngstown and Boardman, you get to see the difference. And the farther you walk into Youngstown, the more you see that difference. See, this is a club. Boom Buzz, I don't know if it's still open, but Faustino's Pizza and Subs. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm starting to have emotions about it. I don't know if I'm mad or sad, or frustrated or something, about the stark contrast in Youngstown and the surrounding cities. It's too blatant. It's just excruciatingly blatant. Some people might say it's racial. I'm sure race plays a component in it, but it's probably more class and economics and education. Because I think back here, people understand their racism, and I'm a racist, so I'm not against racism. My thing is, how can you not be a racist? If you got any kind of sense of pride, any kind of sense of, here go another pub, another bar. If you got any kind of sense of self, how can you not think that yours is better or more appealing or like yours more or whatever? Any way you want to look at it. But anyhow, I think it's more economics, education, culture. I think it's more of a cultural, like, all right, you people ain't trying to participate, so we're leaving y'all behind. And no, we don't want you in our neighborhoods. Now, if they were to say that culturally, no, not culturally, if they were to say that education-wise, look, we don't want nobody who can't read in our neighborhood, regardless of black or white. We don't want nobody who don't have, well, not nobody, you can't say it like that. Even I can't say you can say that, because we need all kinds, but say I was building a neighborhood Or, oh God, let's start talking about immigration, letting people come from other countries. Only let the best and brightest come. People with PhDs and doctorates and at least a bachelor's degree. The educated ones come. Now that's where you can really start talking about it. That's where it's almost tangible and discussed, and it's an actual thing. These people just cut in front of you, see that? They don't care. You see that? So, I mean, like, hey, you know, y'all ain't trying to get educated. Y'all don't want to go to school. Y'all don't want to learn about this. Y'all don't want to learn about that. Oh well. See, this looks like a small place, but it's not my style. This one might be. 3714. That look like I better do something with that. This one, see these little small houses. I might better do something with them. Well, that look kind of big. Do we got 2 doors? Maybe it's a duplex. This double door thing. See, that don't look too big. That one in the back looks really nice. 3726. That look not too big, because I don't want nothing too big. Maybe even a single story, you know? Do I even need it upstairs? Oh my God, I ain't had it upstairs. Oh, I guess I did at my mother's house. Well, you need it upstairs because she got the downstairs. She permanently in the downstairs. So you need it upstairs to separate in that case. Yes, you need separation. Separation is crucial. McDonald's closes at 10 o'clock, which I don't get. I think Wendy's stays open late down here. If you don't get your groceries and stuff by 10, you ain't eating. Reason, yeah, my weight was down last night. I got on the scale, it was 207. Which is, like I said, it was 209.8 the other day. 207, woke up this morning, 205. Which was, I was waking up 207, 208 yesterday, I think. And I think I got a bowel movement coming on. So, you know, I'm not doing too bad, considering all the junk I got back there. Circus peanut sour ball, 0 candy bars, cookies, chips, you know. I ain't got marshmallows. I guess I ran out of marshmallows. I was just thinking again about how last night when my daughter, I ain't gonna say went ballistic, but you could hear the tone in her voice. She was not playing. It was real. I don't think I ever heard her talk to her daughter like that. It was real. Woo. And I was thinking when she did that, there wasn't no whining. She ain't started and all that crying. That was nowhere. That wasn't, see, like that wasn't on the table. That wasn't even in the mix at all. It's like some of these houses too big. Where's that one? I think that was it right there. That's where those dudes were standing outside. I didn't want to take a picture of it because I didn't know what they was into. I like the color of it, the black and the white. It looks like it's kind of big though, to be honest with you. But that 3727 don't look too big. But I really like the colors on that one. Why am I looking at real estate back here? Guess I moved back here. What I'll do is I'll move back here and I'll start a band. I should start a band anyway. Huh? I should start a band in Youngstown anyway. Start putting ads in the paper. I think I'm gonna do that. Looking to start a P-Funk tribute band. Must know Parliament Funkadelic inside and out. I've seen George Clinton at Parliament Funkadelic over 200 times. Mr. Clinton himself has deemed me one of the top fans. I was gonna say the #1 fan. I don't wanna be, too much like that. As one of the top fans. So I ain't playing. I know the band. I know the music. Hit me up. We're going to get in on this. Start putting together a band back here. And it'll probably work. If you think about it. Start playing clubs. People will come see it. I wonder if anybody ever tried that. Or what's going on with that? Anybody playing music back here in Youngstown? Oh, I'm getting excited. Because I'll be back here every 2 months anyway. Can practice via the internet or whatever. And the thing is, probably so cheap back here, pay people out of my pocket, I should do that. I wonder what kind of ads or what paper to put advertisements in. Well, I need to hurry up and get home. I feel my stomach doing a little churny. My stomach is ready. All right. Anyway. Why am I pulling this down? I don't need to do that. You know why? Because I'm swinging on y'all 2 times. For me, for the funk, and for Youngstown, Ohio, and for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom, in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all. Theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffrey.